The Safety Net with Kendell Lenice. This is a talk show where you can feel safe to share your truth. After all, we've all been through something. We all have a story to tell. Our testimonies are never for us. They're to help and inspire others to think bigger, do better, to become wiser. Through our stories and testimonies, we can help each other heal, grow, and learn from our past mistakes in order to have a brighter and better future. It's not what you've been through, it's what you've grown through. This is the Safety Net. I got you. Our live show starts now. Welcome to the Safety Net with Kendell Lenice. Today's show is going to be awesome. I have one of my favorite people here. We are going to be talking about just survival. She has survived many things and she's still here. Her latest survival is being burned alive. So stay tuned to that show. This show, you don't want to miss it. Valencia J is next. Everybody, this is Kendell Lenice and this is the Safety Net. I am pleased to have this beautiful woman here with me, Valencia J. Anything that could happen to anybody, it all happened to her. I mean, this lady, from molestation to rape to homelessness to being promiscuous to being
Michael Jackson.
We're going to talk about that later. But being from gay to straight to gay to straight. I mean, some of the other, just before we even get into this, let's just briefly talk about some of the things, and you don't even have to talk about them, but some of the things that you've been through. List them. Because it's a point to this.
Okay.
Because this show is about sharing your truth. And something she's been through is going to help you guys. Tell the people some of the things that
being beat.
You have conquered.
Being beat. Like you said, molestation, rape, physical and verbal abuse. Well, I never did drugs. Well, thank God for that one. But I did alcohol. I've done that. What else? It's a list. Good Lord. I don't think we got enough time in the day.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Being the church, being deceitful. Growing up as a child, not even know that I was even molested, which geared to the things that happened in my life and triggered everything throughout my life. Being a single mom, abortion. Yeah. I got a laundry list. Yeah.
Jaw broken. I mean, it's just so many different things, and it's not to glorify the things that you've been through, and it's not even, but it's just to. I mean, you're listing them like, oh yeah, this, and this. But if I sat there and thought about everything that you've been through in life, and like I say, and I always say this because Valencia has also been on my other show, Conversations with Kendell Lenice. You've been on Shine, with Kendell. You've been on the podcast, and you're not afraid to share your truth. A lot of people are afraid to share who they really are with people, and just being vulnerable. So why are you so courageous to share your truth?
Because you get tired living in somebody else's lie. It's only so far you can walk behind someone or in someone or how they want you to be. Eventually you're going to come out. So it's either you're going to accept who you are or you're just going to die trying to be somebody else. So it's not to glorify anything. I think it's just time, because as I grew up with my grandparents, you never talk about what went on in your household. I don't know what the 60s, the 50s, or 40s was like, but I heard about it. What happened in your house, you don't talk about. And I grew up in that. So a lot of things that happened to me, you suck it up and you keep moving. But nobody sat down and taught me anything. The streets did. So every relationship, every ins and out, has shown me what to do, what not to do. I've had some good friends. I've had some good people in my life that some are gone, and I've lost contact with others. But I think now in my life is like, it's either you're going to get it together or you're not. And with everything that's happening now, I just really think that it's time. It's time.
It's time.
It's time to talk about.
It's time because we have the bullying. We have the people depressed. We have people suicidal, you know, and it's not even only in children, it's in adults. I mean, you have adults my age that carry that grief from a childhood, but nobody wants to go to therapy. Oh, I'm not weak, I'll be all right. No, you won't. I'm not saying therapy cures everything, but to speak to someone that doesn't know you, to get some type of understanding, you have to start somewhere.
And you are an advocate for help, because I was your life coach. You told me I was going to be You told me I was going to be your life coach
forever.
And you had a therapist.
I had therapists. I had a few of them.
And you go online and you share.
Well, now I do.
So what made you just to be open? Just to be even open with, because it's different with being open with a therapist or a life coach or certain friends. But when you open it up to be on a television show, a radio show, a podcast,
Facebook,
Instagram, when you open it up there, that's subjecting you to judgment, criticism, ridicule. Why do you think that you don't even care about that? You're just going to live in your truth? Because I think that that's very important.
I really honestly think, I guess when we talk about my recent situation, I think that just actually the old me died.
I want to talk about that. Okay, she's saying her recent situation. And I don't know if you can see, but when I just saw her,
I'm a survivor.
It just made me, like, it just really it touched my heart. She was in a house fire, and that's what the sleeve is. That's a compression sleeve. Okay. Her face, I don't know if you can see, because her face is beat, honey. She got her makeup on. So I don't know if you can see it completely. But she has burned. She was burned. I'm going to let her tell her story and share her truth. What had happened was is the day before I was at a beautiful event, rebranding my business, and
I don't know, life. I came home. The next day I got up like a normal day, did the basic stuff, started washing clothes, and I didn't realize I fell asleep on the couch. Didn't realize it at all. My son flew down the steps and was like, "Ma, the smoke detector going off." And I jumped up like, "What? Well, how could that be?" I wasn't even asleep. I didn't close my eyes. The kitchen was on fire, and my son, you know, he's in the kitchen, and I was like, "Call 911," and I tried to put the fire out, but he wouldn't leave. He's asthmatic. We both are, but he's my son. So you go into the survival mode. Get out the house. He didn't want to go. So we're arguing. I'm going back and forth.
Tell him how old he is.
Oh, he's 15. And we arguing, but I'm like, "Don't, just get out the house." We was just going back and forth. He was like, "I'm not leaving you." And I knew I grabbed a towel, but it was like the fire just ate up the towel. Now, mind you, I have done rescue. I used to work for Station 46, but it was volunteering. But all that goes out the window. You know, you watch Lifetime and other movies. You're like, "Girl, I would go this way." Not if you're in trouble, you won't. All that's out the window. You're looking at what's happening. So arguing with him, I grabbed the water spout, and the fire came back on me. Now, the whole time, I didn't even know that I was burned. I argued with the fire department people. The chief was there. Then me and one of the fire crew ended up hugging each other out. I said, "I'm sorry for yelling at you." I said, "But I just want to go to sleep." And he was like, "You sure you don't want to go to the hospital?" I said, "No, I can decline my rights. I'm old enough. Check my son." If it wasn't for the ambulance crew, I remember the truck. I actually ran back into them, truck 846 in Capitol Heights. In Maryland. They actually kind of tricked me. "Well, Miss Jackson," I said, "Don't call me that, call me V." I said, "I'm just hot. Can you give me something cold?" It was like, okay. If we check your son real quick, would you get in the ambulance and let us check you? So I'm still like, I'm just hot. I want to go back. I want to go to sleep. I'm exhausted. I want to go to sleep. He said, "All right, we're going to let you go back in the house. Let us check your son and you get." I said, "Okay." As soon as they got me in there, they slammed the doors. And I was on my way to Washington Hospital Center.
So I think that that's important because, like Valencia said, you can know what to do. But if you're in a state of emergency, you don't really think
rationally.
No.
You're not thinking, okay, you're not supposed to put water on a fire.
Especially
a grease fire.
Right. Or electrical.
And electrical. But everybody knows that logically. If you're sitting here right now, like we're sitting here, there's no fire, and we're saying, okay, don't put water on a grease fire. We've heard that. But like you said, you weren't even thinking, because you were still talking to your son, trying to get him out, because as a mother, you're thinking about your children first. So when they got you in the ambulance, they locked you in.
Locked me in, and the lights came on, and my son called my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in Wardle,
mm-hmm.
and I guess she heard me like, they taking me to the hospital. She heard me in the background,
mm-hmm.
and my son was quiet, but he was loud. He's a quiet person.
And he was in the
ambulance. He had my purse on his
mm-hmm.
lap, and I was like, I'm good. They was like, just throw this on your skin.
Mm-hmm.
I still did not know why.
So they knew you were burned.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't still. I just was hot. I was like, just give me something cold.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there. My nephew and my sister got there. I swear I think my sister was doing every bit of 100 from Wardle to DC, because she's never gotten anywhere that fast before in life. But my son was sitting there looking at me, and I'm going to be very honest with you. I just wanted to say, I quit. I'm tired.
Now, your son wasn't burnt.
No.
Because he didn't go into the kitchen.
He was standing in the kitchen with me.
But he wasn't close when
enough.
You threw the
right.
water.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have gotten out of the house if you didn't go back. You could have left and let it burn. But you were that's your home. You were trying to put the fire out. So when you threw water on there, you were burned. You didn't know you were burned.
Mm-hmm.
They forced you to get in the ambulance. You get in the ambulance, and then what?
The ambulance was speeding, and they was like, just keep throwing. It was a solution. They was like, throw it on your arms and stuff. I was like, okay. I said, it's not cooling me down. I'm hot. Now, mind you, I had a couple of glasses of wine before all this went down.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same given time, I said, this ain't working. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, why am I wasting my time? I just want to go in the house and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
To get there, all these doctors just sitting, looking at me.
Waiting for you to come.
Waiting. They opened the door. They laid me on a stretcher, and they took me in the back. I guess I don't know what it was. And my son was sitting beside me, and he was just looking at me. And I was like, you okay? He said, I'm fine. You okay? I said, I'm going to be all right. But in the back of my mind, I wanted to die.
Why?
I was tired. I'll be very honest with you.
Like sleepy tired?
No,
tired,
I was
want to go to sleep, done with life?
Life.
Okay. Why?
Because I got tired of trying your relationships, your friendships, restarting from scratch because you helped people, and they roll up, like you never helped them at all, and it's like you're nothing to them. And it was like I just kept trying, and I was tired, and I was just like, honestly, I was like, just take me. I'm ready to go. In my mind, I was like, and then my nephew was crying, and my son was looking at me, and I said, Mommy's gonna be okay, you know that. He was like, yeah. All I know is the nurse came and she drew blood and they gave me a shot, I guess, to help whatever was going on. I still did not know. Like, can I go home? And then the doctor started talking, and they took, I guess they said, we get ready to cut your shirt and your bra. I said, I got my old Victoria bra secret on. Oh, I got old gadget on you. Don't judge me now. So I had that on, but and then next thing I woke up, I was in ICU.
So what parts of your body were burned, and when did you discover you were burned? In ICU?
It really didn't dawn on me until I hit the floor, third floor, 3B. I think it was like I was there about a week. I went into the bathroom. I mean, they had gave me medicine, but I was like, can I go to the bathroom? And it was like, you can get up and walk to the bathroom. And when I got up and walked to the bathroom, I looked in the mirror. I cut the light off.
This is before they checked you in?
No, I was checked in. I was already in ICU. After they had me in ICU for 3 days, they transferred me to the burn unit floor. When they got me to the burn unit floor, they take this. I never thought this stuff was true, but it is. I'm sitting with my knees like in a movie. I felt like I was strictly like in a movie. I was sitting in this sterile bin, and they're rinsing my skin off. And the whole time
your skin is coming off.
Yeah, the dead skin that burnt. They had to clean it. They had to come off. And
So
then they
that
bandaged.
whole top layer of skin just.
Actually, it was three. It was second and 3 degree burns. So it was actually past the dermis.
What's that?
You had like 4 layers of skin.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like when you get a tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
The tattoos last because you go past the dermis,
Mm-hmm.
which means the ink was settled in the skin.
Okay.
So if I was in that fire any longer, I would have been like another patient. Like you would have really started seeing like my bone because it went through the tissues.
Mm.
My forehead was 4 degree.
So you
This
burned.
was 4. My face was. This part right here was 4 degree, and this, my arms, my chest, and everything was 2 to 3 degree burns.
So this was. Anyway.
This is the second, and this one was the. This one is the third.
You don't have to pull it
No,
off.
it's fine. This is my truth, right? And it was a lot worse than that. But this is because I get surgery every 30 days now. They do laser treatment.
Tell her, how many surgeries have you had?
Total of coming up next week will be 7. They
7?
scheduled me for 12.
In 1 year. It's only been a year.
Right, the 18.
So this is to compress your skin.
This is to compress my skin. I'm actually the burn parts of my skin is more susceptible. I am more able to get skin cancer.
Okay.
In my burn area.
So this one, because it's only 2 degrees, you don't have to. A 2-degree burn?
Yeah, they do. They took a graft off. They took the skin off my thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And they took the fresh skin off my thigh and they put it on my arms, my chest, and then here they did pig skin because this was the deepest wound.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that after they have me bandaged up, and then the nurse will come in every day, clean the wounds, and they take some of the stitches out, and then they let it heal. And once you are gone from the hospital, I think it's 2 months. They start setting you up for pre-laser treatment. So laser treatment is this little needle, and it's the guy. You go in, and it's a 30-minute procedure. It's painful as hell. And they go through, and they're thinning the skin out. So every 30 days, I'm rotated back into the system for surgery.
Okay. So I just want to go back. So when you discovered what you look like, you said you were in the ICU and you saw a mirror. So when you saw that mirror,
when I was in 3B.
Okay.
The second, because I went to ICU first, and then after they transferred me from ICU, I went to the burn unit 4. When I had to go to the bathroom one night, I turned the light on, and I was swole. It was like my skin just had so much I was swole, and
your whole body or just the
everything.
burn?
I didn't recognize who I was. I was on every type of narcotic for pain. Like before they can give me a shower. Once I was able to take showers, a nurse had to be with me and they had to give me medicine that only lasted 15 minutes to keep me from being in pain. And then they had to change my bandages.
How long were you in the hospital? Initially?
2.5 months.
2.5 months. So what's going? I feel like I'm about to cry.
Don't.
What?
You look like you are.
I know. But so you're in the hospital 2.5 months. What's happening in those months?
The doctors come through. The eye doctors, they saw pressure behind my left eye. That's something I have to deal with now, because it's from the smoke. So an eye doctor comes by, a cardiologist comes by. I mean, every doctor that you can name from that hospital comes by and check on you because they want to make sure your vitals are good, your blood work is good, your body's not going in any type of rejection or anything like that.
Because I had no idea. Because I would have been up at that hospital. Just, seeing, I had no idea.
I never announced
And that's
it.
because I had no idea. And then when you finally arrive, and I don't read Facebook. I post, but I don't read. And then when you finally said something, and you were like, well, you didn't know, you didn't see, and I guess you had posted something. I had no clue. So in 2 months, you told your family?
Well, my family knew. My therapist came past to see me. A couple of my good friends, they came past. A lot of people didn't know. I think the only reason people knew, like, people were blowing up ICU phone for me. My sister posted it on her page.
Oh, so if you followed your sister, then people
everybody
knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So at any point in the hospital, did you think you were going to die?
Every point in that hospital, I wanted to die. Every point of that part, I wanted to die. Because it was a lot, but I don't know. I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. It was like, you better not. How dare you? I saw my grandmother. I saw everybody. I was like, I'm ready to go. And they was like, nope. Nope. Don't. You're not even doing it. Get up. I mean, the guys from the stretch, the people come get you for surgery. They was like, your attitude is just so, oh my God, you're just so positive. But in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm still trying to wrap my head around, like, what has happened? Like, what is going on?
Like, how did I get here? Why did I put water in the... Did you realize that you even threw the water? Did you even realize until after when did you realize that you threw water into the fire?
I realized I threw water when I saw myself in the bathroom that day, and I did say, you stupid, but I would do it again because you know what? My son is my life. And if that means that's what I had to do, I would do it again.
Because you just reacted because you wanted the fire out.
I wanted it out.
So you just reacted and you weren't thinking about everything you know about a fire and what you're supposed to do because you were in almost panic mode because you were in mama bear mode trying to protect your son.
Absolutely.
So 2 months in the hospital.
2 months in the hospital. Mind you, the work in the house still hadn't got done. So I stayed with my sister for a little bit. I'm in pain. My skin feels like somebody takes it and tighten it up.
That's what I was going to ask.
I still get it in the summertime. The wintertime is coming. I'm trying to get comfortable with, it's summertime right now. I try to get comfortable with my chest being open, but I still, when the winter comes, I keep a scarf around my neck because I'm in pain from the tightness. And now that I go to group for burn survivors, that's to be expected.
So, just the look of it or the feel of it?
The feel.
The feel of it. So, right now, it feels like it's tightening?
Mm-hmm. Like somebody, you know how back in the day used to touch people's skin and they used to do the...
So, it's like a burning all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like a tightening.
I'm on a lot of... I still take meds.
I'm sure.
I still take a lot of meds.
Because I can only imagine what that pain feels like when your body is burning. Of course, in the beginning, you didn't know because you were in shock. So I'm trying to figure out like what, and I'm looking at your scars, and I'm looking at your head, and I'm looking, so your forehead, over here, over your face.
My left side got it.
See, you probably can't see this because she, like I said, she's beat. Her face, the makeup is beautiful.
Thank you.
But it's all here.
Mm-hmm.
And then all here, down here, all here, the whole arm, the hand,
and over
this
here.
arm, hand, and down to her finger, and that's it. That's a lot. So it's all on this side too?
Yeah. So, all of that.
And I'm just looking at you, proud. You got your little necklaces dangling on it. You got your chest out.
I'm on my scars.
No, you're not. No, I'm just like, because I'm so full. Because so many people will try to hide who they are or what happened to them. And when I saw you on Facebook, like I looked and it filled me. Because I saw all of this. And you were still your bubbly self. You were still trying to do a video about positivity. You still were trying to uplift other people.
I did put a thread out on one of the pages, though.
What'd you say?
It was one of those threads. I gotta go back. Before I went to my positive land.
Right. You were mad. Yeah, you were mad. Yeah. So why?
Because there was...
As if I might not know.
Well, I mean, the thing is this. A situation is a situation, and a young lady befriended and used my niceness as a weakness. And it was all over someone else, but they not even worth the price of tea in China. But
so
anyway.
She's talking about a relationship, something.
Yeah.
And
but we were friends, and you befriended me because you were just trying to see if they were coming around, still being my friend. And what I didn't like was, as a woman, I didn't look at that. I looked at like, okay, woman to woman, we should be able to uplift each other, and that's what I did. What I did for you was out of kindness and from my heart. What you did was you took me when I was at my low, and you used it. So yes, I did put that out on Facebook, and I did say her name, and yes, I did mean it on site. She will catch these hands. There's no conversation. But we're gonna go back to being positive and everything, because I'm gonna let Jesus use me now. The devil is gone. But she knows who she is, though. So
I don't know you. I don't know you.
But no, I'm not my scars. I mean, I have my days. Like the other day, like they want to do a I don't know if you saw that video. I was like, I called in from my doctors. I had numerous tests done on my eyes because they were trying to figure out like, where's this pressure coming from? Did you always have this pressure? I'm like, no, I get my eyes checked every.
But can you see? Did it affect your vision?
It has not. But their fear is because the pressure has not. It's been a year now. The pressure has gotten worse. It hasn't gone down, and I've been bypassing their spinal tap. So when the doctor was like, look, we can't play around. You're gonna have to get a spinal tap. If not, we need to know what's going on because we know you're trying to heal and you're doing all that. And my doctors know me. They was like, you trying to bypass this. But if you do this, we don't want you to be somewhere driving, walking, and you lose your vision.
So it's that bad. So all of this stuff that you're dealing with, what's going on in your mind? Like, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm about to take the world by storm. Okay. I've been quiet too long.
Okay.
I'm not perfect.
So they gave you a new lease on life because just
the old me died.
Okay, so let's talk about that back to life party and the old you dying. What do you mean when you say the old you?
The
died?
Hurt. I mean, you was my coach. You know the hurt. You was there. You were there when I was going through my divorce. Woo, honey. But I mean, it just, I was already making changes. The fire just did it. I guess God was like, okay, look, you moving too slow for me. We can ready to speed this up. Because I did just ask him like 2 months prior, I just need some time off work, cause so I can refocus on my business. Okay.
Wow. But it's so funny because I did another show and the gentleman said, I don't like this job. God removed me, and he removed him like in 2 days. Right. So when you talk to God, be careful what you ask for because he's listening. Even when you think he's not, he's listening. He's paying attention. So you want to take off work.
I was like, because I was like, I need some time because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
From being, a mom, and then you're still trying to do this, you're doing this, and you're
a businesswoman, because you have a job, then you have a business,
and then by the time I got home, I was too exhausted to do this, and it was it was like, okay, so I'm working to keep paying bills, but I was like, it's more to me than this, so I was like, okay, God, I just need a little bit of time off from work, and you got a lot of time. I got it to 2023.
So what was it like, and I know when you're in the hospital, I mean, I had surgery, I was in the hospital, I'm trying to get myself together now, get my weight together and all that, but I know even just that little bit of time that I had surgery and I went to the hospital, the nurses were amazing. Everybody was nice, everybody was kind, everybody was helpful, and I can only imagine that being the same for you being in there for 2 months. I want to give a shout out to some of the people. Were they good to you?
From the cleaning crew, I love my kitchen crew because it was them sugar cookies, honey. They would bring me them extra sugar.
When I was in the hospital, I wanted orange Jello. Oh, that was the only thing that I wanted.
They had these sugar cookies to the God, honey. I was like, can you give me some of the sugar cookies? All right, I got you, Valencia. I got you. I mean, all of them were awesome. And the crazy part is, I was on 3B, literally 4 days. A gentleman walked in my room. He was supposed to be my therapist, like, help me walk. And he was like, he took me down to, on the burn unit, they have a room where they have group and they do physical therapy. And he showed me the pictures of some of the firefighters and stuff like that. And, And he was like, yeah. He was like, so would you think that you would like to do, we be needing people to help with makeup for the burn patients. So I'm looking at this man like, dude, do you see me? I said, well, I would love to once I get myself together. He put it out there, and now I'm so close to the doctors. Once a month, I go up there and I help the burn patients or whatever they have to help them know how to do their makeup.
So how did they know while you were in the hospital or after?
No, I don't know how. I think it was the man upstairs. Honestly, he was like,
because she does makeup, she does. She has an eyelash doing hair. She has an eyelash business. She's even done brows for the newscasters. You've been on national television doing that, local television. So they saw, were you putting makeup on in the hospial? So that was nothing but God. So how did they even know?
I don't know. And I never saw that man again. I just saw him a week ago. I said, what happened to you? And
Isn't that something? Yeah. Isn't that something?
So now the doctors was like, oh yeah, when the winter comes, because they have events, and they was like, you can come and da-da-da-da. So, I mean, they're wonderful.
So that was your healing crew.
Yeah.
So they really cared about you, and they helped you stay alive. That's not to be taken lightly.
No, I don't.
Because you could have been out of here. You could have checked out.
I know.
That's serious. I mean, being burned as severely as you have, and I don't want to, for lack of better terms, it's like it's just frying a piece of meat. Like your body was just sizzling, literally.
Right.
And you had no idea so that adrenaline is real.
Yeah.
And that shock. So then once that shock went down.
That's when reality.
And that's when the reality hit, and that's when you really felt that you were burned. So what's the first thing that went through your mind?
I'm not going to find anybody. I'm going to be crucified how I look. I'm not attractive. Who gonna want me with these scars? And then I just was like, you know what? Just get yourself together. And it took some time. I had to sit back for a minute, And one night, literally, it was like, I'm not my scars. So every day
That's a book. Well, we already are working on your book, your life story, but that's a book. Because I'm a writer and, soon to be publisher. Every title I hear, everything you say, I'm like, that's a book. I will pull a book out of you, even though you're already going to do a book, but I am not my scars. That's a beautiful title. That's because that's beautiful because your scars internally and the outward appearance, because you have a lot of scars and you've been healing for many years. The first time you were on Conversations, my other show, that was the first time you started talking about some of the things that you've been through. And with people that have been through a whole lot, they don't know who to trust, who to talk to, what they should reveal, if it's too much, if it's too little, am I going to be judged, am I going to be criticized? So I find that it's freeing when you really share yourself and share your story, because there's somebody out there. What would you tell somebody that has scars on the outside, whether they're from burns, whether they're from accidents, whether they were birth defects? What would you tell someone about their beauty?
Beauty is skin deep. If a person can't get to know who you are from the inside out, then there's no need for you to even put yourself around them.
And they're going to say it's easier said than done.
No,
what advice would you give?
Yeah. It's hard. It's something you work on. Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. Me starting out just with my scars. It was very hard to look in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I have pictures that I can post now that I had no scars, and I look at them and be like, wow. But my thing is, like I told one of the nurses, I love myself more now with my scars than I love myself when I didn't have any. But I had scars, but I didn't.
You haven't had internal scars. So the internal scars were internalized.
Right.
Nobody knew
about them.
So now, and even though you were a survivor then, now you're a survivor and you have the scars to prove it.
And I think that this is just
also, what happened to you? And that's also like God. That's also like I was spared. There's still more
This is
work
a
to
reminder of, I think all this is, I think every place in me that has been burnt, it was a removal from my childhood and the pain that I've been through.
Because your skin literally shedded.
Right. So this is a new me, Phoenix. You know, I made ash. I've made it through the fire and came out in the ashes. So I am rebirth. That was the purpose of the party. You know, everyone said, "Why is it at 4:00?" Because that's when I was in ICU. That's when I got admitted.
And I told you, if I didn't want to miss anything, I did not want to miss that.
But
and I had an engagement because I'm just proud that you're still here. I'm happy that you're still here in spite of whatever, you know, all the things that you've been through.
I said anything about that.
In spite of everything, you're still here. So what do you want to do? What's next for you? What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Yes, honey.
Because you are a survivor.
Yes, honey. Well, what's actually happened, and I guess I'll spit it out now because we're working on it behind the scenes. There is going to be, and you are going to be part of it, so you might as well make your time available. This time, not this time, but right after the holiday, it's called Valencia J's Fire and Ice Domestic Violence Summit.
Oh.
So we're going to start.
What you need from me? You know, you got me.
Actually,
in
I
every
want to get.
capacity.
I have met a lot of people that have, like you did, like where people have vendors and stuff like that, and just have a panel. But I want it to be hyped. I want, you know, some people to be able to talk to some of such as yourself and other people, other than just hear my story. You can pull them to the side if they had questions.
I would love that.
We can talk about. We're going to talk about bullying, because everything in domestic violence is not just being beat.
Verbal abuse,
bullying,
mental, financial abuse,
right,
emotional abuse.
Right, drinking abuse, drug abuse.
Yeah.
So it's all in that one.
Yeah.
So, we're writing that down on paper now.
And you're trying to do that this year?
At 2020.
Okay. Well, whatever capacity.
Because I want to give people enough time, and then we're going to have where people can be sponsors. If you want to sponsor it, I'm actually trying to reach out to Coca-Cola or Pepsi. But that definitely.
I think that's an excellent idea. Yeah. So is that because you want to give back, and that's personal to you, and you always want to help somebody? And it's interesting that you're helping someone in this way, because you always help someone, whether you're doing the makeup of burn victims, whether you're doing your cancer patients that you help. Tell them about the cancer patient. And this was before you were burned. So talk about that.
My mom was a cancer survivor twice, breast cancer survivor, and I ended up getting into eyebrow extensions for women that don't have brows. And it's like hair added to the brows, so they could get some type of sense of feeling, you know, more beautiful. Because sometimes women go through so much, men too, a piece of them feels shredded. They feel like they lost that sexiness or that appeal. So I mean, every time I help someone in a beauty industry or any type of way, I just feel like a part of me is healing as well. Yeah. And I just want to give that back more now than ever.
Yeah. So you want to make other people feel beautiful, and it's so interesting that you were already doing that. You never had cancer, but you were already helping them to make them feel better, to make them whole.
But I took it for granted.
What did you take for granted?
I took it for granted. Because
that you were helping people?
No, I took it for granted. I was helping people, which was not the part that I took for granted. The part that I took for granted was every time that I made somebody feel beautiful, I rejected my healing.
Explain that.
I still hated myself. It was something in the mirror that I still didn't like about myself, even though I was like...
Physically? What was it? What was your biggest...
I'm not cute enough, or why I can't find somebody, or what's wrong with me, or...
No, you can find somebody. It's just finding the right people.
You don't want to settle. Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know...
But I'm saying you don't have a problem finding people. We just got to get quality people. Because that's the difference. Some people can't find anybody. You don't have anybody or options. But it's just getting those.
I just never thought that I was attractive.
But that's why you weren't finding quality people.
Right.
If you don't love yourself.
Right. Nobody's going to love you like you love yourself. Like Mary J. Blige said, you got to love yourself.
Yeah, you do. You have to. It's important to do this. So you were feeling just unattractive, unworthy, undesirable. And you weren't even burned then. That was just because of the internal scars. And then sometimes that's abuse. emotional abuse if someone told you you're not pretty enough, or you don't look like this, or you're not shaped like this, or you're not, and you start to feel inferior. You know, you start to feel like, well, maybe I'm not, and you really start to believe that.
You do.
You start to believe that if somebody, because if somebody is constantly saying that to you, you're going to eventually believe it.
And then
well,
that's just something that has to be directed to you. You got to
right.
look at the Instagram. You have to look at the videos. You got to look at the TV shows. Or you can, your boobs, they like bowling balls. They hit the floor. You know, you got to go get surgery. You got to do this. Look at K. Michelle. She didn't feel good about herself. She had all this surgery, and what did she have? She almost died because she had the butt implant. So now, you know, it's just. You have to go deeper. And you may not like it. Because trust me,
but you do have to go deeper, and you have to really accept yourself for who you are and what you have. And that's why with social media, it's a double-edged sword, because it's so good. You can give. It sure is, because you can read positivity. You can see positive acts. You can see acts of kindness and people paying it forward and people posting, you're beautiful, hello, beautiful, blah, 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 blah. And then you can see hate. Then you can see other people that you're going to compare yourself to. And people used to think that it was just young girls, young men. But there are older people that are looking at someone's relationship, someone's house, someone's car, someone's friendships and vacations, and you begin to compare and feel ungrateful about your life. And I think that's as a life coach and just as a human being, like, I just want to really just instill, it's just so important to me, and it really makes me sad because I see young girls doing it all the time. And now I'm seeing, like I said, older people doing it all the time and not knowing their worth and not knowing how beautiful they are. Because when I'm looking at you, I see beauty, because there's beauty in someone who's still here and someone who has survived everything. Because you could have taken your life a long time ago.
I've tried
with some of the stuff. I know you have. And why are you still here, ma'am?
Because I'm getting ready to crack somebody in their head and make them wake up like I did.
How so? Look, we gotta explain your stuff, because as you see, she'll randomly,
my thing is, look, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No, absolutely not.
None of my relationships perfect. I don't live in a fancy house. I drive a Chevy Cruze, boo. Okay? And she gets up. But, I mean, the thing is, I struggle too.
She got here.
I got here. I mean, I struggle too. But at the end of the day, I just want to be able, no matter how old you are, male, female, transgender, whatever, you're more to yourself than a label. The clothes on your back and the wheels that you sit in are not you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you can't take none of it with you. And if you don't cherish people and instead of things, then your things could be taken away. Because people really are what matters. And it sounds so kumbaya and it sounds so cliche, but it really is. At the end of the day, if you're stripped from everything and you still have people that care about you.
When I was rebuilding, the guy I was dating stripped my house down. Oh, I want to say thank you if you ever see this video. Thank you. You did me a favor. But,
my daughter's heard that story too.
Took everything but the bedroom set and the TV.
And you still here? And you still in the house? And you still
And God has given me more than what I've had.
When someone takes from you and you're worthy and you're deserving, you'll get it back. But that's another part of shedding. That's another part of release and really rebirth and back to life. So somebody is struggling through something. They may not be a I don't even want to say victim, a burn survivor. They might just be a survivor of something else, but they're feeling weak. They're feeling like they can't make it another day. Give them some inspiration and some hope to just live another day.
What I learned to do, well, what I was forced to do, which I didn't know I was being forced to do it. Thank you. Take some time out and just sit and just listen. Sometimes you're so busy in the world. God's talking to you. Whether you believe in God or is Buddha, whoever you serve, He's talking or she's talking to you. But you so busy trying to do you and trying to fix the problem, you done missed the whole
lesson.
So what I do, like some mornings I get up, I really rarely sleep, but when I'm up in the morning, I just sit on the edge of the bed and I just sit. And now what I do more, I used to do it a long, long time ago. I stopped. What I do now, I stop and I listen to the birds, and I just put myself like, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful for being here because you didn't have to keep me. You didn't. I could have been snuffed, but you got me here. So I now sometimes they say peace be still. Sit down somewhere and be humble. J. Cole said that, right? Sit down and be humble. And the best time, if you have children, some people are like, well, my kids. I'm going to tell you the best time I find for my son doesn't bother me. It's early in the morning when the house is still. That's what you do. So, I mean, you have to, you have to actually, really figure that out and really take that time and be really at a point of just don't say nothing. Just listen.
To do that, and that's also like a form of meditation also, is to really just to sit and be still.
And if you're tired, admit that. Tell him you're tired.
Right.
He already know you're tired, but trust me.
Right.
He'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
He not gonna move when you want him to. He gonna move when he's ready. But when I say when he move, you better be ready.
Right.
Cause he gonna throw it at you. Don't say you want something, cause he'll be sure.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
I told him I ain't want no kids. I found out I was 3 months pregnant. Oh, Lord, but
if you haven't learned anything, trust God, because He will give you what you ask for.
Right. So you got to be careful how you put things in the universe, because it's listening. Oh, I want a man. You ain't specify what kind of man, what you want him to bring to the table. You said you wanted a man. You didn't specify what kind.
Right.
Short, tall, midget. No toes, toenails. I don't know.
You gotta say little person now.
Oh, my bad. Infant,
small
people. I don't know. You just gotta be really. My thing is, I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know, and women, please don't think, oh, men don't get beat. There are men out here that settle or have settled, and they go through mental abuse too. And that's probably why they don't want you, because they don't feel that they're at the capacity to give you what you deserve.
I said on my podcast before that we're all abusers.
Of course.
Everybody is an abuser. People are like, oh, well, I've been abused. Everybody's an abuser. Whether you say something ill to someone, whether you criticize someone in a way that puts them down or makes them feel less than, that's emotional abuse. Whether you're manipulative, those are forms of abuse, and people don't realize everybody is an abuser at some point to somebody. So we have to check ourselves and not just look at abuse as beating somebody,
I think
hitting somebody, or sexual abuse. We have to check ourselves and how we treat each other, and we're all guilty of it, myself included. Saying certain things that you shouldn't say, and do certain things, and I think that that's part of this show. And it's so funny, people think because I'm enlightened and because I'm a life coach, I'm perfect in some way. Absolutely not. I'm incredibly flawed, and I love it, and I embrace that, because I try to be a better person.
Who wants a perfect person?
It's boring, right?
Are you perfect, Patty?
No, absolutely not.
That's boring.
As I sit here, unperfect, imperfect, and I really think that. So I really thank you so much for really taking the time to come and to drive here and to really share your truth. So what else is going on? How many more surgeries? You said you have 7 out of 12 so far, and you go every 30 days?
The 7th one is next Wednesday.
Okay, and how long do you stay in the hospital?
It's in and out, but this one's going to be a little bit more in depth. Some of this, the skin that didn't flatten down, they're actually going in and cutting it out. Like
under this,
they're going to cut around.
They kind of like keloids a little bit.
So they're gonna cut them out, and then they're gonna put my skin or whatever they're gonna do back.
Have you stood in front of the mirror naked?
Yeah, girl, fluffiness and all, girl.
So you've seen it, and you just celebrate who you are.
It is what it is.
Because that's
I got a foo-foo. At least I got an extra seatbelt, so if we're in a car accident, I can save your life. Yeah. girl.
I never know where you gonna go. I'm waiting. I try to follow.
Judge Judy said, "Don't wait for me. Don't follow me."
Right.
Just
Exactly. But tell the people what you got going on as far as as far as your book.
Okay. So
what you're trying to do with
we
more
don't
of
use
your
the
story.
word try.
Right. What do you
What
have exactly? You probably got that from me.
You told me that a long time
right.
ago.
No,
we don't do try.
We do.
Right.
Absolutely. So check me back. I appreciate it.
Actually, I'm revamping Pinky's Brow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a challenge in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm adding other things back into that business. And then I just started another business, Vivacious Blings. And I make like candle holders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I just started playing around with that. That's under there. Then we have the summit. Then we have the book. Then actually I'm going to work on doing a concierge mobile business where, because I am a CNA, so I'm working on seeing what else I need to do. I'm checking into that. But I want to go to patients or get like a couple nurses or whatever to sit with patients or go pick their meds up.
So you're living your life and you're helping people. Everything that you talked about is helping someone else. So I appreciate you for coming on and sharing your truth.
Of course.
And I wish you well. And I love you. I really, really do. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud. Thank you. I'm proud of your growth. I'm proud of your sincerity. I'm proud of your candidness. And I'm just proud that you're still here.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that white girl.
Look, come on. Thank you, Valencia J.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back. We are at the Coach's Corner. This is the segment of the show where I coach you. As you all know, I am a transformational life coach. So today I just want to talk about survival. You are a survivor. If you have been through anything, you are a survivor. If you are still here, you are a survivor. You are here for a reason. A lot of people are ashamed of their stories and testimonies, and they feel they can't share them because of what other people might think or say. But if you're still here, you have a duty to talk about what you've been through, because what you've been through can help others. Some people might be in that valley right now, and they're unsure if they can make it through. They're uncertain if they have a future. But I'm here to tell you, you do have a future. There is power and purpose in your story. If you have survived and you're still here, God has you here for a reason, and you have to own that. You have to discover what that reason is, and then you have to give back to others. You are still here for a purpose. Discover your purpose.
That's all. I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Safety Net. Thank you, Valencia J., for sharing your truth.
One who knows my heart. I knew it from the start. When I'm lost, you're my tour guide. The only thing that's right. My candle in the dark. The one who lights the spark. You never keep the score. That's why I wanna praise you more. It's you who leads my day. It's you. That's why I stand here and say, you, I'm not alone. With you I have a home. When I'm hurt, you stop the pain. You love